Hit detection in video games can be handled in various ways, but for two-dimensional fighting games, the usage of invisible boxes surrounding the character models is used. We call these hitboxes. If you've ever been confused as to why a move didn't connect with the opponent when it looked like it should, you can thank hitboxes for that. There are four main elements that comprise what we know as hitboxes. The first is the hitbox itself. These appear during the active frames of an offensive maneuver. Normally they will be red in the case of strikes, but for projectiles they will appear orange, and throws will be blue. Second is the hurt box. This is the green bounding box that surrounds a character, representing the hittable area. Third is another type of hurt box that we call the throw box. That's the blue box that's within, and that represents the throwable area of a character. Last is the proximity box. This yellow box protrudes from an attack and determines if the defender should enter a blocking animation as a move is approaching them. So how do they all work together? For a move to connect with the opponent, the hitbox of an attacker must intersect with the hurtbox of a defender. Strikes and projectiles must overlap the hurtbox, which is green, and throws must overlap the throw box, which is blue. Depending on the type of attack, different courses of action are required on the part of the defender. Some moves have special properties, and this box will be denoted with purple diagonal lines, such as Zangief's vacuum effect, or Fong's poison aura V-trigger, which will poison the opponent when it overlaps with their hurt box. The invisible is now visible with hitboxes. It'll allow you to see the game in a whole new light. You'll notice things like character hurt boxes being generally more narrow than the models themselves. You may also note that projectiles have a fairly small hitbox, even though their graphic is so much larger. Studying a throw-centric matchup becomes a much easier task because the normally invisible throw range is right there in front of your eyes. For anti-airs, you want a hitbox that hits above your character's head, and you also want the hitbox to extend beyond the hurt box. This will decrease the chances that your anti-air is stuffed by a jumping attack. There is no one-size-fits-all anti-air, so you will have to adapt to the distance your opponent is jumping in from and the situation at hand. Sometimes you'll find that your character doesn't have that many good options, and instead you might be better off with an air-to-air attack. Moves that are normally good as jump-in attacks are not always great for air-to-airs. You see here the hurt box extends beyond the hitbox, making it susceptible to a counterattack. Choosing a move that has a quick startup, a lot of active frames, and a good hitbox positioning will make a great get-off-me-quick tool, which is essentially what an air-to-air is designed for. For Balrog, you'll want to stick with the jump jab, or maybe the jump strong if your opponent is higher up in the air. This is because the hitbox hits higher up in physical space. To figure out what a cross-up is, look no further than the hitbox. A cross-up is a jumping attack with a hitbox located down and slightly behind the character model itself. Jury has both a jump short and a jump forward cross-up attack, but keep in mind that not every character has one of these. An instant overhead is another jump attack that requires a quick startup and a low-hitting hitbox so that you can hit your opponent on the ascent of your jump. Pokes and counterpokes are essential to the Street Fighter game. You'll see here that Karen has a couple far-reaching medium kicks, but notice that the hurt box lingers after the hitbox disappears. Playing footsies with the hitboxes on will give you a better idea of how space control really works in the game of Street Fighter. Another aspect of the neutral game are high and low profiling moves. You can see here that the hurt box on these Guile moves change shape to contour to the character's animation itself. Using this information, you can avoid a poke and simultaneously counterpoke your opponent in the neutral game. Sometimes moves offer types of invincibility. You'll see that Bison's forward dash acts as a teleport, but his throw box reappears before his hurt box does. This allows you to punish with a throw of your own. Balrog's V-skill makes his hurt box turn red, meaning there's some type of special property associated with it. In this case, it's projectile invulnerability. See as he spins through these fireballs with ease. And some moves are just completely invincible and there's nothing you can do about it. So keep this in mind for matchups where that opponent may have an EX stock available. That's going to do it for this installment of 5-Minute Fundamentals. Shoutouts to Tom for his FrameTrapped software, which was used in the tutorial. You can download it for free at frametrapped.com. I'm Lord of Ultima, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.